Yes, we're going to take a walk along the old railway track bed that led from Stranraer to Portpatrick. It came in past Dissused Castle and swept its way round the top of the village where you're looking now, round to the left to a terminus. Some years later they actually built a railway down a very, very steep incline to the harbour. It was so steep that the first train down carrying goods wagons skidded to a standstill but could not get back up the incline after unloading. So another engine has to be sent from Stranraer to go down the incline to haul the whole lot back up again. From then on, the locomotive and only 4 wagons could go up and down the incline. You're looking now at the track bed on a zoom lens from outside our Portpatrick hotel. Very overgrown, but we do manage to find it. Incidentally, the harbour railway didn't last very long at all. Now you can see the embankment there and a little bridge going under what used to be the railway line. This is very interesting for me, being interested in steam railways. And clearly now you can see the embankment going along through this cutting. This was cut by railway men using pickaxes, shovels and dynamite. And there are the steps leading up to the footpath which runs along the side of the old railway, and very soon we'll be down there ourselves. And yes, we're there, and we're looking back now at the Portpatrick Hotel where we were staying and from where I've just been filming. We're now down near those steps. It's a very rugged coastline, and Portpatrick itself is surrounded on 3 sides by high cliffs. And that's the footpath up the top of the cliffs, and there's the sign, Dissused Castle and Murrock Bay. But we're not going to Murrock Bay. We will see Dissused Castle, but you can't get too near it because it is very unsafe. And here we go now up the steps. Let's find that railway track bed. Up the top now and looking down on the car and Portpatrick. And John and Peter were out with me this morning, And to the right hand side of the picture there is the track bed, although very overgrown. You can't walk along that way at all. In fact, it was quite difficult where I did walk because it got more and more overgrown and I just got shorts on. Looking down on the track bed now along the cutting. And we didn't jump down, we were clambered down very, very carefully. And looking back along the cutting to the high rise embankment area above Portpatrick Harbour. And there's the cutting. I'm going to walk right along there, but it gets more and more overground. My shoes get soaking wet. But the flora and fauna was really lovely, and it was a really lovely exploring type walk. And this is a separation in the rock halfway through the cutting, and as the trains came up the incline to enter the cutting on wintry days, the wind and rain was so heavy through that hole or gap in the rocks that it virtually brought the trains to a standstill. That's the footpath footbridge over the top, and we'll go up there later and have a look down again. There you are. You see, there hasn't been anyone walking along here for some time. And come up now out of the cutting and looking along to where I'm going to walk and back from where I have just walked. Just popping back now along the footpath above the cutting to look down that gap in the cliffs. A bit breezy as well. But look at the Irish Sea. So smooth, and the lovely flora and fauna. These wild flowers, it's marvellous how they grow on cliffs next to the sea, which in the winter must be horrendous. I doubt whether anyone walks along this footpath that we went along in the middle of the winter anyway. Beautiful colours. And that is Dissused Castle. And the train comes out of the cutting onto a little embankment and runs along, and there's a bit of a fencing to stop the cattle getting into the cutting. What's it all about then? And this is where they've cut a part of the embankment away to make a track, but we're still on the actual track bed. Now here we found it a bit difficult. We think this may have been a siding area. It's on a very high embankment which now overlooks a caravan park on both sides of the embankment as well, and that's looking back to the castle. And once again the embankment gets very narrow. It's all getting very overgrown. All this, though, it does look as if quite a few people walk along here, and caravans on either side. And then we come to the road bridge, which spans a 2-arch bridge, and on this bridge is where the track bed, as far as we can walk, comes to an end. It was lovely discovering this old railway. It just fascinates me, and it was quite a nice morning, not too hot, not too cold, and lots of flowers and sheep and birds, and just lovely to be out in the country and in the fresh air. Hope you've enjoyed it too.